GC.
Thank you guys, appreciate it.
Thanks for being here, man.
Can't hit too much.
Yeah. Oh, I'll stay on the left side.
Yeah.
Not on the right side.
Both of them are messed up. How's everybody doing? Good.
In case anybody doesn't know, this is my dear friend, Mr. Grant Cardone. If you don't know who he is, I'll take responsibility for that.
Yeah.
Because he's been a mentor of mine. He's poured into me for a long time now, gee.
Yeah?
Golly, 26 years now. 26 years. I saw this guy selling VHS tapes out of the trunk of his car.
To some of you guys.
Sales training tapes, right? A long time ago. And watched my first Grant Cardone video in this little utility room at Planet Nissan Subaru in Flagstaff, Arizona. Since then, fast forward, he's now a, 12-time best-selling author?
No, not that many times.
How many?
I've written, let's see, maybe 8 books, but the audio programs and the webinar programs are like outsold all that stuff by 10 times.
Yeah, 10x, right?
Yeah, 10x, yeah.
10x.
So there's probably 21 programs that have hit some kind of, important thing.
Yeah, some kind of important thing.
Yeah.
Never enough.
No, that's right.
Yeah, that's right. Best-selling author, keynote, world-class, has his own television network, doing a bunch of shows.
Yep.
Right now. Millions and millions of followers. Just hit 1 million followers on Twitter.
Yep,
right?
That's
Congratulations
right.
on that.
Yep.
He's done a lot of things in his life, but ultimately, what I love about Grant is he's a car guy at heart. He won't tell you that anymore. He's over on the real estate side, right? But he's a car guy at heart. He's just like you and I. He started in the same industry that we started. Started selling cars, man. He started selling cars. And I'll be honest, like this 800% mentality, it took me a really long time to finally get what Grant was talking about, right? It just took a really long time to understand and to kind of break out of the ether that we're in, this ether of comfort that we kind of get into, because everyone in this room is successful at a level, right? You wouldn't be in this room if you hadn't reached success at a certain level. And so it took me forever to break out of that, but really 800% is about that. It's about reaching.
800% is a knockoff on 10X, right? Then when I looked at that, I'm like, okay, what did he do? He added a 0 and a percent, changed the 10 to an 8, like, come on,
Hey, I think they say.
But when you come up with something good, you got to expect everybody to knock it off. Right, like it is.
Don't they say that's the best form of flattery?
Yeah, they say it's the best form of flattery. I said, no, it's just another form of stealing. So, but this 10X thing. Actually, the 10X thing. I worked for Tom Stuker. How many of you know Tom? You know Tom. So I worked for Tom when I was 20. Let's see, I was 29 years old. Got fired from a car dealer. I was working for this car dealer. He fired me. And because I went to him and said, look, the GM's stealing money from you, bro. I worked for the same guy for 7 years. And I was the top producer in the store. Like I was the leader. I wasn't a manager, but I was the leader in the store. And in many cases, you could have somebody in your store that somebody that's really producing a lot that could be as much a leader, would you guys agree, as a manager. And I was a big influencer in the store, and I was a pain in the ass, and I was a diva and all that, all the things you hate about a salesman. But I do 30 cars in 14 days, So the dealer tells me one day, I went to the dealer and I said, look, the GM's stealing from you, man. And I thought the dealer was my friend. And he's like, mind your own business. I said, excuse me? And he's like, mind your own business. And I took that to mean, go to your office, pick your shit up and leave. So I did. I went and boxed my shit up. He said, mind your own business. So I'm like, okay. So I went and put stuff in my box in the little used car department. It was a converted Sonic or something. And got in my car, drove home, and never went back there. He was out of business 9 months later. Lost 2 stores, Pontiac store, GMC store, and a Toyota store. Because he lost all this production. And then he lost the leadership. So like some of you lose people. How many of you lost people before and you're like, you didn't even miss them? You're like, oh, shit, I'm glad he's gone. That's because they're not producers. But if you ever get a real producer, they should be a suck out, So like, I go to work for Tom Stuker. I actually there was a Toyota dealer I haven't told this story in 30 years, maybe never told this story. And there was a Toyota dealer in Baton Rouge, Louisiana that wanted to hire me to be a manager. I didn't really want to be a manager. I was like, that looks like a shit job to me. You know, I mean, seriously, y'all with me? That's a shit job. That's a goddamn, you know, they're going to cut your pay when you're doing good. And I was scared I couldn't do it. I didn't think I didn't, because I'm not a manager. I'm not a manager type. So, and Tom Stuker wanted to hire me. And I went to my priest, Charlie Dubois, and Charlie's the one that got me to a treatment center when I was 25 years old. So I'd always go to Charlie for advice. And I said, Charlie, man, I got this opportunity with this guy, Tom Stuker, in Chicago, traveling all over the country, and then I could go be a sales manager for this Toyota store in Baton Rouge. He's like, he took out a whiteboard. He always did this whiteboard thing. He thought he was Karl Rove or something. And he says, which one fears you the most? Which one do you have the most fear? I said, oh, definitely this traveling job all over the country. It's terrifying. He's like, that is the one you must do. And he gave me the sign of the cross. And then I went and did it. Okay? And then what I saw Tom doing, Tom was like, I have so much admiration for Tom Stuker. He's such a genius. But I would watch him. He was stuck in this business. Like, he was only selling time for money. He was trading time. His genius, his charismatic personality, he had to get in front of dealers. But you guys are tough people to sell anything to. Like, when Glenn told me how many people he had here, I'm like, that's incredible, dude. These people are impossible to get money from. Like, how did you do that shit? Like,
my wife tells me the same thing all the time.
I mean, you know, like you guys are a tough market, right? So Stuker would go produce money, and at his moment, when Tom was hot, Tom was on fire hot. How many of you know Tom Stuker, this name? Okay, some of you maybe you're too young in the business, but this guy was on fire. But his business was broken. Meaning he would trade time like many of you do. You trade time all day, you sell some cars, you get some money, you save it, and you go do it again. You got to keep doing this thing. And that's what I was looking at, like, okay, I don't want to do that forever. I got to figure out how to get, I didn't want to work for myself, by the way. I never ever thought about Grant Cardone's going to be a boss, ever. I've never ever thought about it. I was forced into a bossship because I was working for Stuker, and I'm like, bro, I'm not going to keep doing this. I'm on the road 300 days of the year. I was his top producer. I produced more than 4 other trainers. And I was a salesman. I wasn't really a trainer. I'd call you up and say, hey, you bought these videos, they're $9,000. I can see you're not using them. I'm going to come in and get your team to show you how to use them. And the guy would be like, how much is that? $10,000. I'll come in for 3 days. And he's like, 10 grand. I got a bunch of videos I'm not using. Exactly. Exactly. I'm going to come in and show you how to use them. And they'd pay me the 10 grand. I'd come in, and I was doing, like, the first year I did like 150 days a year. So I was making Tom a bunch of money. I was learning how to call on people, but I wasn't really consulting the company. I was really selling. I was a salesman. And after 150 days or 180 days of doing that, I'm like, shit, I'm going to die doing this. I'm basically a vagabond. I was going Regina, Saskatoon, Winnipeg, freaking...
We've got some Canadians in the house.
Regina, okay? You got a sister in Regina?
No. Doug McIver, Winnipeg.
Oh, yeah, he's in Winnipeg. Like, I was in Winnipeg, it was like minus 34 degrees or something. Like, you know, and I'm calling on Doug, you know? And so I was having a great time, but at some point you're like, there's no business here. I'm trading time for money. And so I left Tom because there was no place for me to grow. I wouldn't have left Tom. I'd still be with Tom today if he'd have given me a piece of the deal. And I ended up leaving him. That was 30 years ago. To, you know, now like if Tom would have, my point is, he's a mentor to me, and I outgrew Tom. And I exceeded anything he imagined because he just kept working in his business. And I would just tell all of you in the room, like, you got to figure out how to get your money out of that business. You know, if you guys think money, and I know a lot of you do because I know a lot of car dealers. You guys make a lot of money. First thing you do is you start saving it. Second thing you start doing is bragging about how much money you're making to your private little bullshit group. just keep it real, right? So, and then what you do is you start paying your shit off. And then you start brag within your family after church. Yeah, we paid off the houses and we paid off this and we paid off that. And now you start working on your retirement account. But it's a lie. What you're doing is a lie. It's actually, what you're doing is actually, saving money is ridiculous. You guys shouldn't save your money. You should take your money. Like, this is what the game I've been playing since I was 31 years old, and nobody knew I was doing it. I was calling on you guys, getting money from you, and you were funding all my real estate. And that's why I was hustling so hard. I was doing 300 days a year. I'd get $5,000 from you, $4,000, $9,000, $3,000, $2,000 on any given day. Shit, the price could have been anything. You know? If I needed a real estate deal, I'd call you guys. Hey man, buy some of my shit. You know? Well, what is it this week? Oh, it's a G-Pod. You know? Anybody buy a G-Pod from me? G-Pod was basically what a G-Pod was. It was Apple came out with the little tiny thing.
Nano.
Yeah, the Nano. So I took all my video shit and put it on the Nano and called it a G-Pod. This is in 2010, man. Half of you guys were out of business, okay? I said, you got to get the G-Pod, the new G-Pod, man. All my videos are on the G-Pod, right? And so some of you guys would buy it. I'd take the $9,000 and I'd invest the entire $9,000 in real estate. All of it. Always broke. Never had any money. Didn't have fancy cars or Gucci or nothing. I wasn't traveling. Anytime I'd travel, I'd come travel to you. I'd go up to Winnipeg in Thanksgiving because we didn't have Thanksgiving in Winnipeg. The Canadians don't do that there, so I'd go there, pick up a bag, come back, buy some American real estate, and just bury it in a real estate and stay broke all the time. Like, I highly advise this stay broke thing. Shit's good, man. Because what I did was I got rich in assets and broke in cash. And after what you guys saw happen Friday, 3 banks this weekend, another one this morning, this ain't gonna be over, okay? But what happened was I think most of us in the room were taught, hey, work hard. How many were taught that?
Yeah.
Bust your ass, save your money.
Yeah.
The first 2 parts are right, the third one's wrong. You don't wanna save your money. You wanna get rid of money, convert money to something else. Either another dealership. Car dealerships are about real estate. They're not about cars. Right or wrong? That's it, man. The cars basically support the owner in owning the real estate that one day in the future will be worth a lot of money. But look, I just came in. I love this guy. Give this guy a big hand. Okay. I don't go anywhere without being paid. Ever. Okay, and I'm here because I'm being paid his friendship. So there's no money in this transaction here. I offer to come in here and just spend some time with you because he's here. I love Glenn, love what he's doing. I want to support him. I know how hard it is to be in this space, any space really. And I think what he's doing is just phenomenal with this 800% club and bringing people together to talk about being successful for a day or two it's not an easy thing to get you guys in this room. It wasn't your idea to show up here today. It was his idea. He sold you on it and then got you here.
Thank you, Grant.
Yeah, thank you.
Appreciate you, man.
Yeah.
With these amazing dealers that we do have here, and I agree with you as far as scalability. We've got to scale, right? And then ultimately flipping that money and making sure that we're creating those assets, bending that. I'm with you there. If you were still, if you were in one of their shoes, right? You've got a dealership. Your first dealership. You're selling 50 cars a month.
Yeah.
100 cars a month. 150, somewhere right in there. What are some moves that you would make now? Like, I've heard you say things like, for example, you got to celebrate your performers, and we have to penalize our non-performers. Yeah,
I was just doing a call with Dubai, like the excellency of the United Arab Emirates, I think it's called UAE. They're you know how big that checkbook is? Like, it's endless. And they do the same thing we do. They make up money. Okay, we need some more money. Boom, print it. There's no problem with that, by the way. I wouldn't even worry about this print stuff you guys worry about. I know all of you, we're printing too much money. We've been printing too much money for 100 years. So what's another 30 trillion?
Right.
You know?
Isn't that crazy?
Without debt, you guys ain't selling any cars. Let's keep it real. So,
That's true. That's very true.
don't hate on the debt.
Yeah.
You need it, you know? So what was the question?
So
Oh, what would I do? What would I do? Look,
Yeah,
look,
and
look.
I heard you talk about celebrating performers,
Yeah.
analyzing
Celebrate
them.
performers and get rid of people that don't perform. I mean, the biggest mistake we make at my company, we have 660 employees, or maybe 800 today. I don't know, but we have 260 in Miami, another 200 in Phoenix, Arizona, and another 400 across the real estate portfolio. People don't cost money. Keeping bad people costs money. Okay? Like, you guys got to cut bad people. Because good people don't want to be around bad people. Good people, great people do not want to be around average people. They're going to leave. They're never going to blame. The survey you do when they exit is going to be like, nah, I'm just tired of the place, dude. I'm like, it's just, I'm over this. I got to go do something on my own. The truth is, the survey doesn't ask the right questions. Are you sick of being around fucking deadbeats? Put that on your survey, okay? And see how many of them say, God damn, yeah, I'm tired of being around myself. So excuse the language. But most people don't want to be around marginal people. You get it everywhere. It's everywhere. That's why people are drawn to Instagram, because they're seeing profound things happen on their phone without taking any risk. So now the next thing you guys are going to say, where I find great people? Well, you ain't going to find them and keep them if you keep settling for average people. You got to sell something big. No great person is going to stay at a 50-car store. They're not going to do it. So you can't be a 50-car store. You got to figure out how to be a 500-car store. You got to scale, right? So how do I get good people? If you guys ever get a chance, I'll do an invite for everybody in this room. We do once a month. We have a 10X headquarters. It's in Miami. You go there and you start walking through all our departments. We train every single day. You don't train, you don't work there, period. Okay, we do a sales meeting every single day. You're not at the sales meeting, you don't work there, period. Nobody gets away with this. Okay, I don't care how much you produce, how much you do, it don't matter. I don't run the meeting, and I don't train anyone. Everybody's trained on a computer. You're forced to do time on the computer. If you don't want to do it, don't work here, period. I'll replace you. The reason we can get people is because of the success. So if you notice, my Instagram and Facebook, all my social, YouTube, man, we spend 80% of that is basically bragging about what we succeeded at. I'm not actually promoting a product or a service. I'm pushing and marketing to my people to say, look how much great stuff we're doing. And then two, like when I market, I'm not marketing for you guys to hit my link. I'm marketing, number one, for me to see the ad. I need to see that I'm doing great things. Okay, number two, my people need to see we're doing great things and I'll replace you. Right? I'm trying to attract other people. Third reason I'm promoting is to promote to the competition. So I want Joe Verdi to see my face every day and be sick to his stomach. Just like, oh, God damn, I can't stand this guy. Okay, I want Tony Robbins to see me every day. Oh, my thorn in my ass, I need to walk on fire. Okay? So, like everybody, Dave Ramsey, I hate that guy, okay? Like, I literally spend ad dollars to instigate the competition, because if I can get the competition to hate me a little more, they cannot produce. You cannot create and hate at the same time. It's impossible. Can't. So, like, I go out of my way to be controversial enough to get people to actually talk about me negatively, believe it or not.
Yeah.
So
number one job of the CEO.
Dude, I want people talking like look what they did to Jesus. There's a success formula right there.
No doubt.
You need to go out. Jesus was a damn marketer. He didn't stay home. He went out and prospect. He's like, ain't nobody listen to me, Mary. I got to get out of here. Joseph, see y'all later. Took his one pair of sandals, hit the road. Went out there, started doing great shit. Oh, boom, 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 you're healed. Go and tell the others.
That's right.
That's what he did.
That's facts.
Okay? And he did so much great stuff, people were threatened by him. See, you guys got to become a threat to your environment. You got to become a threat to your environment. You got to become such a threat to your environment, people start, like your competition starts talking about you, because that's free promotion. You got to get people to promote you, and you can't. Nobody's going to promote somebody not winning. You know, they're not going to hate on people losing. They're going to hate on people that are winning. It just comes with the thing. So in that promotion, because people don't remember, you remember Tylenol? Tylenol was taken off the shelves 20 years ago. Number one best-selling headache medication in the world today. And it was taken off the shelves. So you have to figure out how to do something big enough in your marketplace. You know, the fourth reason to market is to get a customer. But if you hit the third one, you're going to get the fourth one. So I don't know if I answered your question, but you can't just keep being a 50-car store.
Right.
So the 10X concept would be this, like, okay, we did 50, we're going to figure out how to do 500.
Right.
You don't go 50 to 55, because you're never going to get to 55.
Or the 800% concept. That's what he's talking
Yeah, or the 800%, yeah, that I knocked off 10X from him. whatever it is, but you need the thing to be so big that you can't hit the target. Right? You don't actually I don't want to achieve the target. I want to aspire to a target that causes people to think outside of a box. Because you're not going to do the 50, let's add 10%. It's all analytical. You're spending so much time trying to analyze and organize and underwrite and figure out and, what's our budget? I don't have a budget. We did $155 million in gross revenue last year. I don't have a budget. 95% of my time is spent on hey, I'm gonna take 155 million, which I never thought I would ever do in my lifetime. Okay, like unbelievable to me. But I just kept the target there, and it wasn't 155. But I remember when it was 10 million. I was doing $1 million a year, and I'm like, I'm gonna go to 10 million. I'm like, there's no way. I don't have a big enough audience. I don't have enough products. I don't have enough employees. I don't have enough time. Blah blah blah. And I said, shut up. The target's 10 million. Okay, how could you get there? Oh, I need to add products. Oh, I need to add people. Oh, I need to add whatever, right? I need to go online. And then once we got to about 5 or 6 million, I'm like, shit, man, 10 millions. I could definitely do 10 million. And 10 became 100.
How do you do that?
Okay, so you're not gonna, like, I've never hit a 10X goal. By the time I'm on the way to 10X, I'm gonna actually move the target. Anywhere on the way, I'm like, shit, the target was too small. So I'm just gonna move the target on the way up. And so the question now is, well, everybody's going to be disappointed. So what? We're moving. I don't care. I'm not trying to achieve the target. I'm trying to find out what I can do. Right? And so like we did an event. I was telling this story this morning. We did an event, first live event I ever did outside of car dealers. Because I had been doing events with you guys. You guys remember Bob Moore? Anybody here? Bob would go out and pitch my deals. Dude, I kept telling Bob, you got to quit calling on car dealers, bro. You got to start calling on the plumber and the contractor and it's the same thing, selling. Everybody agree? I'm selling a car, qualifying a customer, closing a deal, negotiating, following up. A dentist does it, a chiropractor does it, insurance does it, roofers do it, solar does it. I'm like, Bob, why are you calling on car dealers? Because he was freaking satisfied and he died broke. And so will Tom. I'm just telling you guys, if you guys keep getting satisfied, this planet punishes people that get satisfied. For some reason, people that get complacent lose everything. And if you look at your parents worked hard, they did everything right, they saved their money, and they ended up with nothing. And even if you end up with something, you just end up with something and you're dead. You don't actually get to live, while you're alive. So, this complacency, settling in, comparing yourself to the other guy, man, it's a killer. That's why I like this 800% concept, to keep pushing people and not be satisfied. So we did this deal where when I first ventured outside of car dealers, I went and did a deal. It was called the 10X. It was a 10X event. We just made it up. 80 people showed up. I think half of them were my employees.
Was that in Cabo?
It was in Cabo San Lucas. The next one, the goal was 10 times that. We just put in arbitrary. It's completely made up. It takes 1 second to do it. You take whatever you're achieving, multiply it times 10 or 800, whatever. Something stupid. You have no clue how to do it. There is no budget behind it in the beginning. There's no mechanics. Zero mechanics. None. Like none. It's all intention based. It's not, how am I going to do this? What do I need to do? Who needs to do what? This is completely arbitrary, no mechanics connected. Our next event, the goal was 800. We did 2,200 people. I did it in 80 days. It was the single most profitable event I'd ever done in my entire career in 20 years.
That's where I met Danelle.
Yeah. Okay. Exactly.
Yep.
So now, where's my daughter at? Is she in here?
Right here.
Oh, Sabrina, I can't see you. There you are. Okay. I got to see you, man. I got to know where you are, man. You're bound on a bunch of car dealers. You ain't safe in this room. Okay. So the point of that story is when you can go from 80 to like, boom, do something, what happens to the organization? Oh my God. Okay. Our next event had 12,000 people in it in 12 months. Literally went from 2,200 to 12,000. The next one had 35,000 people. So my organization, my guys we're doing impossible stuff, right? In 3 years, like bang, 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 bang. Okay. Now, the third one that we did, my team's like, the event's over. We held it in Miami, booked out Miami Marlins Stadium. I did it because I met Derek Jeter there, and I'm looking at the stadium. I'm like, how many people will this place hold? He's like, about 25,000. I said, what's the most people you've ever had in this place? He's like, Joel Osteen put in 28,000 people. I said, okay. Well, shit, I'll take the whole place. I said, did Joel curse swear while we're here? No. I said, good. I'm going to fill up the whole place. How many can I put on the field? He's like, maybe 8,000. I said, I'll take the whole place and the field. I'm going to put more people in here than Joel did. Okay. Because I need a competitor. I need somebody to beat. Like I needed some target to beat for myself. How many of you need that in your own life? Dude, it's like gives me something to work for. If you've been doing the same thing over and over, you need something to win. Not money. You already got money. I need something that lives longer than money, right? I said, I'll take the whole place. And he's like, you want the whole place? I said, yeah, but I want to clear the field off. I want people sitting on the pitcher's mound. Okay, I'm going to sell those seats. Anybody gets to sit on the pitcher's mound, it's going to be 20 grand.
For sure.
Okay, I'm figuring out how to market this thing, all right? So, and Derek's like, what weekend do you want it? I said, oh, the weekend I want it, it's available. And he's like, no, what weekend? I got to see if it's available. I said, guarantee you, the weekend I want it, it is available. He's like, what weekend is that? Super Bowl weekend. He's like, Super Bowl? I said, the Super Bowl's in Atlanta, and I'm going to do my conference 3 days in Miami Marlins Stadium. He's like, well, you're freaking nuts. I said, exactly. And we sold 38,000 tickets. 34,000 showed up on Super Bowl weekend for 3 days.
Why Super Bowl weekend? Why?
Well, because I wanted to be able to tell the story. See. And I wanted any of my competitors, anybody that does big events, Microsoft, Salesforce, I wanted Tony, anybody that did an event after that would then say, oh, man, did you see Tony's event, blah, blah, blah? And they'd be like, yeah, did you see Grant's event? He had 34,000 people. He had people in second base paying 20 grand, okay? Because that kind of advertising it's not viral in numbers. It's viral forever, right? I'm looking for ads and marketing that leak out and get shared, not just looked at. So now when we got done with that deal, my whole team's all excited. You guys hit your targets. We had a great weekend. You guys know that? What happens after that? Everybody wants to freaking go to sleep.
Yeah.
Well, I don't do that. I give them another target immediately. So like anytime people complain to me about work, too many issues, problems, I give them another project. So now you're happy with that bullshit you were complaining about. Now, I never, a customer tells me the payments are too high, I give them a bigger problem. I don't give them a smaller problem. I don't reduce the payment, I give them a bigger problem. Hey, the payments are too high. Okay, write me a check for $54,000 then. Huh? Just write me one check, you won't have any payments. I increase the size of the problem. They're like, no, I take the 400. Sign right there, shit. Quit playing with yourself, okay? So what your people do is they reduce the problem, and they think if they reduce the problem, people actually want problems, guys. They want problems. When your staff comes to you and wants to borrow money, don't lend them money. Don't ever give them money. Give them a bigger problem. You're going to go to jail. You're never going to be able to buy a house, man. Your kids are going to get thrown out. Give them bigger problems. You're going to get evicted. Give them a bigger problem, they'll go sell something. See, this goes back to what I was saying earlier. What happens, you guys get complacent with your money, particularly at the mid-level range, right? I mean, it's just an observation, if you guys don't mind me having it. You guys mind me having it?
No.
I went through it. I did it. Packed away a couple million, and I got soft. Settled in. 2008 came. Hey, oh, you think you're the shit, huh? Let me show you who you are. It's like buying a boat, thinking you're going to take care of it. And God says, okay, yeah, whatever, bro. You out there spraying it down, cleaning it, polishing it. Hey, man, you ain't going to beat salt. Right? Same thing with saving money. You guys think you're going to beat inflation, you're going to beat the economy, you ain't going to beat it. The only way to beat anything is through production and expansion. You got to expand to another level. There's no retirement or 401k or IRA or savings account that is ever going to save your future. The only thing that can save your future is what I do every day. I get up, I work, and I expand. And as ugly as it might be, I get up, I work, and I expand. And now what the problem is, it's not work for me because I'm expanding to a new target. So when we finished doing that Marlins Stadium, 34,000 people in a room, for 3 days, biggest single achievement of my life at that time, on that Monday, I'm like, okay, guys, what do we do now? 10X. I need 3.5 million people, 350,000 people in a stadium. And they're like, ain't no stadium that big. Okay. Let's do it outside. Oh, that's a problem. How can we do it? So I just keep asking, how could we do it? How could we do it? And that's the year I got Undercover Billionaire. We did 1.1 million people in one night. Because I couldn't do a stadium anymore, so now I got to go figure out how do I get outside this box that I put myself into, this 50-car dealership, this footprint, this limited supply inventory, and you guys saw all that during COVID. COVID basically had forced you to start thinking outside, forced many of you to go online, forced you to start giving prices that you didn't want to give. See, COVID was a blessing for most of you. I think COVID is part of the evolution process for the human. Like, I don't know why we're trying to get rid of it. Maybe it's trying to help people. So, just accept the help. So I'm just going to lean into the problem and say, okay, what can I do with this problem to expand myself? But you got to have great people around you that believe in you to pull this off.
Talk about that. You were saying that you had that property and they wanted to go and spend some extra. They wanted to spend some money.
Yeah. So we had I have a property in Austin. I just got I get a monthly disbursements from our real estate. We have 12,000 apartments today, and in 2010 I had 200 units. So in whatever that is, 12 years, 200 units to 12,000. That's what the 10X thing does. 3 employees to, 800. Income was $1.9 million in 2010. It's $150 million in the online business and $360 million in the real estate business. Okay, I get distributions every month. I got them today on the 15th of the month. Bang, I get a drop.
How much did you get?
I put it on my Instagram story, actually. It's on there. It's a story of 10 of the 30 checks are in there. But boom, that money hits every month. That's passive income. That money takes care of me no matter what, right? That's all I live off of. I only spend my passive income. I never spend any earned income, ever. I go sell something and get a commission. I never touch that money. I invest the money in an asset. This is the asset. The asset pays cash flow. That's the only thing I live off of. My kids, my daughter Sabrina back there. Sabrina, say hi to everybody. So Sabrina gets $667 a month. Okay, we pay her. She's an employee of the company. She's required to do certain things, like stand up and say hello to everybody. Right. She was paid like 30 grand for that. She's paid one time a year, the 30 grand. I think we're giving her a raise this year because she's been doing a great job. The 30 grand then goes into Cardone Capital. Cardone Capital is a fund open for accredited and non-accredited investors. It sits in backed by institutional quality real estate. Okay, that real estate then pays her a check every month. She gets $667 a month. She can spend the $667. She can never touch the capital. Every year I add to the capital account. She'll never touch it. She'll be 20 years old. She'll be a millionaire when she's 20 years old.
I follow her on social media.
Yeah, she's great. Yeah. And so what happens is I get to write her salary off. Her income is not taxed because it's passive. The appreciation in the property will take care of her in the future, and I never have to pay for any of her bullshit. Okay? So the reason I got to that was there's a property that we have in Austin. That Austin property, it was 88 acres of land. It was 100, and I think I paid $102 million for it. I put $40 million of my own money down. Actually, it was your money. Because every time I sell something, I get money. It's other people's money I'm using from a commission to buy the real estate. You follow me?
Yeah.
And then I wait for the income from the real estate. Well, this particular piece of real estate, I mean, it's a premium piece of real estate. 88 acres. I thought I stole it. It's never done great on the cash flow, though. It's only done about 2 or 3% cash flow. The property called me one day. We had been reserving cash, and the property called me and said, hey, we want to change the pool equipment. We want to put new pool equipment. I said, oh, yeah, how are you going to pay for that? Oh, we got a bunch of reserves. I said, oh, really? Really? You got, how much reserves you got? There's like $102,000 sitting in there. I said, okay, great. Let me call you right back. I got interrupted. I called, wired the 102 out to my account, okay? And said, hey, wire that 102 straight to Grant Cardone, okay? Then I called back and I said, hey, I checked on that. That balance was wrong. And they're like, no, I saw it this morning. I said, good. Well, go look at it now. They called me back. You're right, it's gone. Shit. I'm like, good. Now, what were you talking about? You wanted some what? What did you want? You wanted some pool equipment. They're like, no, we don't need that right now. The only reason they wanted that pool equipment because there was cash sitting in that account. That goes for your uncles, your aunts, your brothers, your sisters, your family members. They come to you. They got emergencies. Don't they come to you? Huh? Man, can you help me out? Wish I could. I'm illiquid. See, but you guys got savings accounts. So what you do is when you got a savings account and Glenn calls and asks you for help because he needs some help, what do? You got the money, so you spend it. I don't have any money, ever. I'm broke every Monday. So I show up for events like this.
Talk to me on that skill piece. So you said, you went from 1 million to 5 million. You knew you needed product. You knew you needed people. What happens in our minds is we go, well, when I get more, then I'll go get the people. Then I'll get the product. It's almost like chicken and egg.
What I do is I just set the target and then I back into the numbers.
How do you go get more people? How do you develop more products if you don't have the money to do it?
Well, maybe you need more products to sell in a different fashion. Like if this, if I want to go from Undercover billionaire. I had $100. I got to turn it into $1 million in 90 days. So what do? I got to stay focused on the target, right? So the first thing I did was I sat down with Discovery and said, look, I'm not going to do $1 million in 90 days. It's impossible. And they're like, okay, well, we don't want you for the show then. I said, no, I'm going to do $10 million. And I don't need the full 90 days, and I don't need your $100. I said, now that's TV. And you can keep your bullshit truck too. And she's like, what? Are you playing with me? I said, no, I'm not playing with you. This is what I'm going to do. Keep your $100. I'm going to do $10 million. I'll do it in under 90 days. I only need probably 45 days to do this. Okay? Keep your 100. Keep your truck. And by the way, I picked up a bag. I'm a salesman. I picked up a bag off the floor, put it on the table and said, you can have the contents of this bag. Her name's Nancy_Daniels at discoverychannel.com if you want to email her today and tell her she's a dumbass, because she is. I said, you can have the contents. She's the executive of Discovery Channel, okay? She's a dumbass. Just tell her I said Grant Cardone said you were a dumbass. Hello, happy Tuesday, okay? I pushed the bag over there. I said, you guys, there was 12 people on that side, one person over here. And I'm like, she's like, are you playing with me? I said, no, I'm not playing with you. Why would? She's like, you're going to do $10 million in 90 days, under 90 days with no money. I'm like, yeah, I'm going to do it. She's like, why are you so confident you can do it? I said, look, open the bag. You can have the contents of the bag if I don't do it. She opens the bag. She's terrified of me. Okay. She opens the bag. She's like, what is this? I said, count it. It's 52 pounds. That's $1 million in cash. And she's like, booking for the show. He's going to be great TV. And that's how I closed the deal, right? And then, so I get to Pueblo. The only thing I did in Pueblo, first thing I did was I took the $100 to Wells Fargo and dropped it off and created a checking account. And Discovery Channel's like, why are you getting rid of the money? I said, I don't want money. I'm not a manager. I want to be broke from the get-go. You guys understand this concept?
Yeah, you do.
Because if I have $100, how many of you saw the first show where Glenn did that show?
Yeah.
And the show goes like this. He's got 100, and then he's got 88, and then he's got 62, and then he's got 54, and then he's got 36, and then he's $12. What is he doing? He's managing money.
Right.
That's not the target. The target was to build $1 million business, not manage $100. I never touched the 100, ever, the entire time. What I did was spend all my time immediately going broke, and number 2, going to qualified people. My second move was to start going to businesses, business owners. I never talked to anybody that didn't own a business. If you go back and look at that show, it's actually sitting at, the behind the scenes of it is at gctv.com. I think it's gctv.com. You can go back, watch it with your staff. Okay, we literally breaking down what I'm doing as a broke person. Shaved my head, look just like you did, okay? No money, no cash, can't use my Instagram, can't use my Facebook. I got to use a new name. Lewis Curtis was my name. It was my dad's name backwards.
I was on a Zoom with you. I thought you were sick. Like right when you first went in.
Yeah.
You couldn't tell anybody anything about it.
I couldn't tell anybody, right?
Yeah. I'm like, dang.
Okay.
That look rough.
I'm looking bad. Okay. You wanted to talk. and so the first 10 days, all I did the first 10 days was collect assets. Okay. I end up with an RV within 24 hours of being in Pueblo. I have an RV that's worth 60 grand. I have the old truck they wouldn't let me get rid of. I end up with a new truck the guy was trying to sell, a brand new truck. I said, let me sell it for you. Convince this guy to let me sell his truck. That truck was worth $42,000. So I have $102,000 worth of assets. I got a boat that they didn't show in there that's worth $90,000 that I'm trying to sell. They don't show that. So now I'm at $190,000. My assets are growing. I have control of assets. I don't need money. I got a RV guy to convince me to give me a tab at the local restaurant, because I didn't have any money to eat. I had no food, no water, no shelter, and everything I was doing, I learned from you guys, car dealers. So thank you guys for putting me in that position to have enough confidence to go out and do that. I did not hit my 5 million, or my 10 million. COVID hit 10 days into the deal, kind of derailed the situation a little bit. Okay, and I would go back to Pueblo 3 months later, and we ended up at like $5.5 million by a third-party appraiser. Company's still doing business today.
No, in that you said like you shortened the time
Yep.
and increased the goal, right? And you always talk about you have to go big and
Yep.
you have to go fast.
Yep.
Otherwise you'll die.
Yep.
Right? This industry has kind of been counterintuitive to that, right? There's dealerships that have been around 100 years that haven't grown big, don't move fast, but they're still here. Do you think that'll still be the case in tomorrow's, the way the economy's moving, the way technology's moving? Do you think we can still stay comfort and stay small?
Yeah, I mean, speed, time kills deals. You guys have all been on deals where time took too long, people lose interest. I was the guy talking 20 years ago about your sales process is too long. I was brought up on 12 steps. Like, these steps are stupid, And I mean, this was before the internet. And then the internet came along. It made it obvious. Okay, they know more than we know when they get there. Most of these people have made a decision before they got there. You guys got to change. Everybody's got to change. It's not car dealers. It's everybody. Everybody's got to make everything faster and easier with less friction. And now we're going to go into this period of uncertainty. When you start seeing Credit Suisse's failing this morning, people are going to start freaking out. And then you're going to start freaking out. And then they're going to start freaking out, and then all of a sudden the freak out, money moves to confidence. So I don't know what happens to your industry. I don't have that crystal ball. I know I just keep my target. I don't care how I get to my target, frankly. All my targets are financial like that, or they're people. Like, they're people first. You understand? Like, it's not, if I want to do X number of dollars, it doesn't come from banks. Money doesn't come from banks. It comes from people. So I need to open up my funnel. Like, I hate Instagram and Facebook. Okay, I hate all social media. I hate, but I use it. I don't look at it. I don't watch it. I don't watch other people. I don't want the influence of it, but I dump on it all day long. How many follow me on Instagram? How many on YouTube? YouTube is my Mac daddy. Like, YouTube is the best thing that's ever happened to me in my life. Probably YouTube, then TikTok, because TikTok hits that 14-year-old kid, and 14-year-old kids have 25-year-old parents. Okay, and then Facebook's a garbage dump. I mean, there's no way it makes it. AI will replace all this stuff. Like, AI will replace it. Instagram will not even make it. My real estate will be around longer than Meta will. There ain't no metaverse gonna happen. That's bullshit. Okay.
You're 65, Grant. How do you stay up on all of those? I know that the dealers all know they need to be using it. Because
I abuse them. Like, I abuse channels that can distribute my name. Everything for me is, my 3 goals every day are promote. Number 1 goal every morning when I wake up is to promote. My number 2 goal is to promote. And my number 3 goal is to promote. And until I get people hating on me for promoting, I might make it goal number 4. I'm a promote, and I'm a promote, and I'm a promote, and I'll figure out what to sell later. So, maybe I don't even have anything to sell. But when you spend a lot of time in promotion, you start thinking about, how do I tell stories different to people? And how do I hit targets? And when you start setting these big giant goals, you're like, how do I make another $1 million a year without having any products or people? What if I can't get people and I can't get a product and I can't get inventory? But you were committed enough to the $1 million. How many think if you had passive income coming in every month, you would actually be more productive, not less? Of course you would. More money makes you want to make more money. I mean, more happiness wants to make you more happy. More time with your family makes you, if you got a good family, makes you probably want to have more time with your family. When you're winning, you want more winning, right? So I like income coming from a lot of different sources, and I pay attention to the ones that are taking care of me every month. That's why that money that comes in every month gives me the latitude to take more risk in business and spend more time figuring out, how do I get more people to know me, because people have money. So like my goal is 7 billion people to know my name. Not 7 billion people to like me or buy from me. It's 7 billion people would know the name Grant Cardone, or somewhat familiar, or I think I heard that, or I think I know you, or I've seen you somewhere. And I don't care what they're going to buy from me. I don't even know what they're going to buy from me. I have no clue. But if they don't know me,
they can't flow you.
They ain't going to flow me.
That's right. That's right. Well, Grant, I know we're over on you.
Yeah, I'm good. I just want to come say hi to you guys. And
I got to ask you one last question. I'm going to steal it from your events.
Yeah.
So, Grant, what does 800% mean to you?
Well, yeah, it means expansion. So if you guys don't expand, you're not going to be here. Like, if you look at churches and religions around, particularly America or even around the world, you go to church on Sunday and the congregation's getting smaller and smaller and smaller. And the reason that is because they're talking to the same people. It's called, singing to the choir. You got to talk to the people that haven't bought your product. You got to collaborate more with competitors. I'll collaborate with anybody. I either collaborate with you or I clobber you. One of the two. So you want to collaborate and do something together? Otherwise, I'm going to talk shit about you. Okay, I'm going to instigate. I'm going to get you all jacked up. I'm going to do everything I can to run over you. Everything. Like, vicious. And because they're predators for my future. And I got to take care of my little girl back there. And I need to. She needs to grow up, and she needs to be vicious, because we live on a vicious planet. And so I just encourage you guys to get around people that are thinking about how to expand, and get rid of everybody else.
Amen.
I'm serious. Like, it's a nasty planet, man. And if you guys have been around long enough, you saw 2008 rob you. You didn't do anything wrong. You guys weren't part of the mortgage crisis. You weren't out buying 5 and 6 homes without a job. Any of you doing that? But everybody in the room was punished. I wasn't doing any of that bullshit. I got punished. Okay, I had 80% of my net worth knocked off, and I didn't do any of that stuff. I should have been doing it based on the penalty that I paid. And many of you in the room, many car dealers in the room, some of you forgot you got slaughtered. One day you're doing fine, doing all the right things, taking care of your customers, taking care of the manufacturer, saving your money. Boom, you looked up, everything got destroyed. That's happening right now. We're going to go through another major destruction cycle right here. You didn't do this. You didn't go buy a bunch of 10-year treasuries, right? This is these 3 banks that you guys see right now, that ain't the only 3 banks, trust me. There's $2 trillion at least of commercial real estate in this country that is in default. So BlackRock just defaulted on a Finland deal for $500 billion. Nobody even knows this is happening. BlackRock wrote down last March $1.7 trillion in losses last March. You can't even find this because they control the media. So Blackstone just wrote off, defaulted on a deal in LA. This is going to continue to happen. It's going to affect everybody in the room. And it's going to create phenomenal opportunities because if you remember after 2010, 11, and 12, man, if you'd have freaking had the courage to lean into it, your whole life would have changed in the last 10 years. And so it's a good thing and it's a bad thing. If you're in good shape and you're staying close to this group and you guys keep having something to come to, how often do y'all meet?
Every week online and then every
Yeah, you should never miss a week. All I want to do is I want to get myself through 1 week. I do 1 week at a time. I'm like, okay, I need to get myself to the next event. All I worry about is the next thing, the next immediate thing that I got to get to for me and my family to do a little better because I want to stay busy. And if I can stay busy, okay, I can stay productive.
Love it, man.
Yep.
Love it. Ladies and gentlemen,
Thank you, guys.
Cardone.
Thank you, guys.
Let's go! Make some noise for my man!
Thanks, guys. Thank you.
You're
Thank you.
awesome.
You got it. Tear 'em up.